3. Hello. Welcome to another episode of Drag Talk with me, Ariel Allure, where we'll be going over RuPaul's Drag Race Season 18, Episode 12, the Drag Family Resemblance Challenge. There's another name for it, but I'm not going through that right now because I'm going to keep it a buck with y'all. I'm frustrated. This episode is essentially the makeover drag family episode in which a group of people come in and they are supposed to be transformed into someone part of the contestants' drag family, correct? I have watched this show every season since it began in 2009, so you have 18 regular, 10 all-stars, then you have all the internationals. And this is the first season. I know some other people have never liked this episode, but an episode that should be at the top of everybody's list has officially went down the drain. And it honestly and truthfully really saddens me, as I feel that this, especially with this one and the guys that they brought in, the queer rodeo men, there was something about their storylines, which I'm going to get to in part 2, that was so... I wanted to find out more about them, one in particular. But because of the judging of this episode, it's honestly and truthfully went to shit. This is not meant to bully anybody, but I will be expressing my frustrations. If I'm not the way I usually am, oh well. But we need to get onto one accord, and I am not above from learning. So I have a couple questions, a couple thoughts. This is just going to be the intro. If you want to know and just see strictly the contestants and my thoughts, that's going to be in part 2. First and foremost, what is a drag family? Maybe I'm getting the wrong description of it, but I have seen a lot of drag families and they do not align with what allegedly was supposed to be happening on this episode. Now we got to keep in mind that we are watching past edited footage. They already did this last year, so we just watching stuff from the past, right? Law, I thought honestly when he got on this show he would have been great for Drag Race and give it to them real. I don't know what happened this particular episode, but they need to bring Legendary back and put him over there. I also know that he does judging for Project Runway. I actually watched the last season because of him in Utica. And yeah, some of his critiques work there. Hell, even over there, the way he critiques so harshly don't work. It works perfectly on Legendary. So bring it back, have him as a judge so he can get off everything that he want to get off. Now we get to the main person. I have a couple questions. One, somebody explain to me what a drag family is. Honestly, I'm not even trying to be catty right now. I want, what is a drag family, honestly? And then I want Michelle Visage to get on here and tell me her definition of a drag family, because you're not making no damn sense. Also, you do know that while simultaneously season 18 is going, UK versus the world was going too. They just finished. Congratulations to Gotland. But even that, I actually went back before filming this and watched the critiques for that episode. So let's go through what she did for UK versus the world real quick, okay? I'm not doing all the pictures. I just want y'all to keep this in mind for when we get to part 2. So Fontana, she had the same outfit but in 2 different colors. Here's Michelle's critique. She got it even though they were not twins, they were coordinated, so it works. Family resemblance. Naomi had the Johnny Versace brother and sister storyline. This critique was the only one that actually worked due to the fact that, yeah, there were some mishaps with the execution. The hair didn't look the greatest. Sometimes the fit was a little wrinkly. That one worked. Gauntlet was a mother-daughter storyline. Here is Michelle's critique. Everyone has their opinion about what drag resemblance means, but the story is what sold it for her, and that's why she gave it a positive critique. Mariah Balenciaga, who was the winner of this challenge, honestly, truthfully, rightfully so, but if we do it in comparison to how she was judging this episode, she had on 2 different oranges. Mariah's was actually like a bodysuit / kind of bathing suit moment where her partner had a whole damn gown, and that came out beautifully. There were no critiques. There was none of this nonsense stuff that she was talking over here. Last but not least, Kate Bush, hers was fused and one dress was shorter than the other. Her partner's dress had a higher hemline than the other, and they never let go. They were walking hand in hand that whole runway. Her critique is it's just camp, and the only anything negative came in the form of her makeup. Please keep all of this in mind when we start getting into the contestants this previous episode. It really does sadden me, honestly and truthfully. One of the most human episodes, I will say, that happens in this series always gets overshadowed, especially this time. Maybe y'all can say I'm late, oh, it was always like this. But especially this time, it so blatantly gets taken over by production and editing because y'all want to do storyline and wrap things up. So the one episode that could actually get y'all continuous Emmys, honestly, if it got judged right because of these people's stories, gets overshadowed by shoddy judging. I'm gonna need y'all to explain that for me. Like, it's so much so to the point where they're apparently, I guess they're picking queens for season 19. I'm gonna need, when they pick the queens and they get their cast and they start calling them and it's like, hey, you're on the show, I want Michelle to then send them a video saying, hey, I know y'all, congratulations for making the season, I know y'all are packing up, but this is what I mean when I say drag family resemblance, and this is what I'm expecting, so that way there's no all these mess ups allegedly, and you actually have a fair chance. Because a lot of this did not make sense. So let's get into the episode in part 2. And we're back with part 2 of Drag Talk with me, Ariel Allure, where we'll be going over RuPaul's Drag Race Season 18, Episode 12, Mama Don't Let Your Babies Grow Up to Be the Makeover Challenge. Please watch the first part before we get into this. I talk a little bit about my feelings about this episode because, like I said, it was all over the place. This one is just going to be the contestants strictly. So let's get into it. I know I typically don't say in no particular order, but no, there is an order to things as they were critiqued. We are going to start off with Nene Coco, and honestly, the reason why I'm so upset this episode turned out the way it did. Okay, let me get into it. Nene Coco, she had this concept of the butterfly and the caterpillar. In terms of that, I agree with the judges that it wasn't the best concept, and typically for this challenge, this does not work. I was very confused as to the caterpillar factor, honestly. It did take a minute for that. If Nene didn't say it while they were in the workroom getting together, I wouldn't have gotten it personally. However, when I actually watched this episode and you hear Jason's story and what happened to him in the barracks while he was in the military, that's heartbreaking enough. However, please correct me if I'm wrong, I noticed that he might have been wearing a yarmulke on his head, or was that something to cover up, bald spots? I'm gonna just say it. I mean, no disrespect, but if it was the first part where he is actually of Jewish descent, that's an added layer to that whole storyline. He's black, he's a queer cowboy, and possibly Jewish. There was more to this man's story. I will say, however, Nene looks great. Her outfit looks amazing. The one made, it does look good aesthetically, but just concept-wise, again, it does not work out here. So Nene being in the bottom, yep, I get it, cool. On to Mikey Meeks. Now let me make sure that y'all are seeing this, because take good note of this. Everything about this outfit is going to come into play later on, because after Mikey Meeks gets critiqued, this sucker goes downhill. Okay, it's glamour, yes. Do they look alike? Yes. If I'm gonna be very honest, Miss Mama's Morgan Meeks, that face is a little rough. Now, have I ever done drag makeup? No. But from far away and in pictures, it looks good. There were some shots on that show questionable. Mikey Meeks has on a gown. She has on a slit. Asymmetrical. Why does Mikey have on these new gloves? I hate the new gloves. It looks so off to me, and it stands out so stark. The styling of her partner was well done. Of course they liked it because it looked like Michelle Visage. Like, okay. Juicy Love Dion comes out with Lucy Dion, Juicy and Lucy. Coordinating colors. Yes, I agree with the judges. It was a mother-daughter storyline. I'm proud of Juicy for doing the whole bodysuit underneath to make her partner more comfortable. They look amazing and great. Okay, fine. We got it. This is what actually, I said it was after Mikey Meeks. It's actually after Juicy. This sucker goes off the rails. Then comes Jane Don't. I'd like to present Jane Don't. First and foremost, RIP to her partner. I did see that apparently he ended up passing away late last year. So RIP, moment of silence. Let us continue. Michelle, what in the bumbleclot were you talking about? They are legit twins. What are you talking about? If you think that this did not go well, then this don't work either then, right? They are completely two different. These are completely two different. According to Michelle, these are two different species. The way she judged Jane Don't. I want to read off some of the things that she said about Jane Don't, not particularly to her face, but when they do like, when they're in Untucked and, just between us judges. Cool. At 52 minutes and 16 seconds, she goes, the silhouette was different. One was a gown and one was an asymmetrical short. The entire panel disagrees, and then she goes at 52 minutes and 24 seconds, but for me, the same hair color does not a family resemblance make. I'd like to present what? Michelle, what are you talking about? This is where the first plot line comes in. Y'all just wanted to humble Jane Don't. That's it. She has been in the top this entire time. Jane Don't has never had a safe placement until this week. Y'all just want to do this for the storyline. Please cut the shit. Going back to Juicy, she had this critique to say. At 45 minutes and 48 seconds to 45 minutes and 53 seconds, it's not always about matchy-matchy, but about understanding cohesion. I present to you again, Jane Don't. Now, the only thing I would say that I would change is I wouldn't have had that red tight, and I probably would have put a new tight underneath that. But what are you talking about? Discord Adams, so I have to go into a part 3 for this. Discord Adams, okay, Law said what he said. Don't get why he said that. Discord Adams is one of the very, very few, outside of very, very few, literally stamped her face onto her partner. It's legitimately stamped. What in the world were any of these judges talking about? I can never recall a time where it was supposed to be drag family resemblance, or anytime there's any family resemblance where they had to be exactly matchy, it is always something like this: the good versus evil, the preppy versus punk, the pink and the black, the goth over the glam girl. It's always been something like this. So what the hell were they talking about? They even had their own Discord and Harmony, even all had the dysfunctional walk. Like, what are you talking about? Y'all just want to get rid of her because she ain't have any wins. So at this point, whatever y'all planning for the rest of the season, y'all just want to wrap her storyline up. Stop lying. Like, it's so obvious. I really wish y'all would just stop lying. And if you want to play these little stupid production games, don't use this challenge for that. Michelle's critique for her at 52 minutes and 48 seconds to 52 minutes and 50 seconds. You get the opportunity to look like your partner. She legit stamped her face onto her partner. So I don't know what the hell they talking about, but we'll get more into this and the results later. Go to part 3. Part 3 of Drag Talk with me, Ariel Allure. We are going over RuPaul's Drag Race Season 18, Episode 12, the Makeover Challenge that went off the rails. Excuse me. Please watch the other 2 parts. If you made this far, leave me a mermaid icon, and let's finish this out strong. Last but not least, and the winner of the damn challenge is Darlene Mitchell. Look, yes. I think Darlene should have fully won this challenge. It's tacky as hell. The storyline is there. Family resemblance. Again with Michelle talking about when they first came out, they look like they were more best friends. No, they do not. They legitimately look like one of 2 things. Either sisters and they mama showed them that how to do makeup and they all got really poor tacky taste. They were raised up as sisters, but really one of them's the mama and the other one's the daughter. It's just, it goes together so well, and she's silly, she's crazy. It's Darlene. You know she was going to do something like this, and the fact that Bonnie was really in it too. This is the damn winner. What are y'all doing? And here's why I'm so mad about this challenge, is because even though Darlene should have won, again, the critiques that they were doing while they were in Untucked, it's like it's seeping, the inconsistencies are going from Michelle to now RuPaul, to where RuPaul's now like, yeah, there were some similarities. No, they looked exactly alike. It's just the whole point is they're supposed to be tacky. Again, Michelle's critique is distant cousins, mother, daughter, sisters, whatever it was, I bought it. That was after a while, but you don't get plain Jane. Okay, now let's get into the tops. Tops and bottoms for this challenge ends up being Mikey Meeks, Juicy Love Dion, and Darlene Mitchell. With what was presented, do I agree? Yes, I do agree. Honestly, to be frank, the only one for me that missed the mark was possibly Nene. This honestly and truly should have been the safe week where nobody goes home. I fully believe that the makeover week should be the week where nobody goes home. Not the Rusical, not a design challenge, nothing else. Specifically because of the community that you are trying to build with these other people that have come into this experience, nobody should go home this challenge. That's just my opinion. Then you have Nene Coco, Discord Adams, and Plain and Jane Don't in the bottom 3. They just wanted to humble Jane Don't. I'm tired of it. I know there's some opinions about Mikey Meeks' win, and she kind of came after Hershey LaCour's Jete. No. Mikey, you did. No, I agree. You should not. Darlene should have won this. However, you got it. Cool. That works for your ranking. That works for the show. It's nothing against you. However, better was presented. You just look like Michelle, and then it almost kind of comes off like a kiss ass moment, but then I know it's not, but the way it does come off, it really comes off like, because you look like Michelle Visage and you appeased her, you end up getting the win. So they want to go and humble Jane. Mikey wins the challenge. Bottom two is Nene Coco and Discord Adams. 2, Ariana Grande. I don't know if the Ariana Grande song is technically the best song for a lip sync. It was cool. I feel like there are certain songs that should be used on Drag Race itself, and that song, I believe I have seen lip sung before in a live performance, and it works because you can move around the space. Something about it just being on that stage, I don't think the song really worked. So Nene ends up staying. Discord is told to sashay away. Am I sad that Discord is gone? Not necessarily, because I really didn't see her as the top 4, truthfully. However, again, I don't feel like anybody should have went home. She should have went home, honestly. Rusical challenge, she should have went home. But nah, this whole thing was just off. Like, nah, I do not approve of these things. I don't know. This season is starting to shape out to be really odd. I was already kind of down once Vita and Mia and Athena, they all left. I kind of went into a whole downward spiral. Then, not downwards, I didn't go into a downward spiral. I would just say that the season started getting kind of iffy for me. Let me rephrase that. The season got a little iffy for me. And after that, then you had Kenya kind of staying a little too long for me. And it was, we off the track. So I don't know what's going to happen at this point. I'm still rooting for Jane Doe or Darlene as the top 2, final 2. Is it going to happen? Who knows? So that's the end of Drag Talk. I know this one is a lot longer. I'm a lot more frustrated. Apologies. Again, this is not bullying. This is just to get the opinions out because it is a show that we all love. I'ma need y'all to do better. If you want to pull this type of game off, just bring back the superfan episodes. Have a superfan be the ones that get the makeovers. Don't do it with people that you're trying to also build community with. And I'm saying this as a cisgender heterosexual. So y'all let me know your thoughts on this episode. What are you thinking? Who do y'all want to win at this point with everything going on? Should they even keep this challenge? I've seen some people where they're saying they should get rid of the challenge. I really don't want them to get rid of the challenge. They just need to do and judge correctly and better. So until next week, peace.